Indy the Game Raider here. I'm doing another gifts for good fanboys and good fangirls. And I'm reviewing the Retron SQ by Hyperkin. Now, if you're familiar with Retron, you know you get a lot of value for your buck. They usually play a lot of the old systems on HD. So you can, don't have to have an old composite video cable to play everything, which is amazing. Well, in this case, it's even better because this thing is basically a Game Boy Advance in a little GameCube-like box. For size comparison, you can see that's a Zelda Minish Cap cartridge. Very excited to play that. I will be streaming that on YouTube. And here's another size comparison. Pokemon Pinball. It's basically the size of that cart. How crazy small and compact is that? So it doesn't take up a lot of shelf space, which is really cool. And it's powerful. It plays both. You can play your Zelda on a Game Boy Advance, and you can also play your Zelda on Game Boy. That's right. Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, this does it. And it puts it on HD. How crazy is that? So I guess it loads or rips the ROM onto it first. So it does take a second to load. But once it does, it runs really smooth. It looks fantastic. You can play it in 720, like kind of a widescreen mode, or you could do it by 4:3, which is the way I prefer to play my old carts. I like the aspect ratio that I grew up with. It's really crisp looking, but again, if you're trying to make videos on Game Boy games, you cannot go wrong with this. I can't stress it. This thing is amazing for that. It's also way cheaper than buying the other way that I know how to play Game Boy Advance games, which is the GameCube. That's right. So you have to spend, drop a bunch of money. Look at that. Look at how good that looks. You have to drop a bunch of money on a GameCube, and then buy the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Player. So that setup's going to cost you about $400 nowadays, or probably even more. I don't know how much it's going up. So this was the alternative I chose to go for, so I could bring my audience members some lovely, lovely Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, because those are two consoles that I grew up with and they're near and dear to my heart. Here's the controller. It looks like a little Super Nintendo controller. How cool is that? Look how cool that looks. Oh yeah, sounds good. It sounds great, looks great. Let's go ahead and try a Game Boy game. Oh, cool. So it acts like the old Game Boy Advance 2, where you can put in the different colors. I accidentally hit the red, so it looks really menacing. Oh, nostalgic. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, no, they got the sound right. Emulates correctly. Oh, God. I'm so glad I can share this, guys. You have no idea how much this game means to me. I can like legit cry right now. I'm just gonna say this. Retron SQ, and get over the cancer warnings. Just grab it. This looks amazing, sounds correct. Who's Becca? Is it Nintendo Game Boy era, like Mario Land 2 and Link's Awakening, like could do no wrong. Like they just knew how to make a game for a kid in the 90s. Well, don't ask me what that means.